Welcome to a Stepfather's Conversation with Aswed Muhammad and Pastor Eugene. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, hello again. All of you viewers, all of you supporters, all of you sponsors. Here I am once again, Aswed Muhammad, the host of the first annual Stepfather Luncheon. I am privileged to be here today with one of my speakers, Pastor Eugene. What's your name?
Pastor Eugene Charlo.
And that's what is that?
Suave.
That's Suave. So we're here today. Of course, we're here today inviting you guys to come out and support us, come out and join us, come out and enjoy yourselves at the first annual Stepfather Luncheon. However, we just want to touch on a few basics of the importance of supporting stepfathers, the importance of stepfathers stepping up and taking on the role of adoption, of stepfathers, because it's not an easy role. It's never easy to come in and step in somebody else's shoes. So I'm here today with the Honorable Pastor Eugene, and I'm gonna pick his brain. Y'all ride with me and pray for me at the same time. Amen. Let's go, Pastor. Amen. Talk to me. So you're a stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
You're also a pastor.
That's right.
Yes, sir. And so becoming a stepfather, was you a stepchild?
No.
So when you stepped into the role of stepfatherhood, y'all write that down for the word, stepfatherhood, that was something new to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Were you a believer?
Oh yeah.
When you took that role on?
Oh yeah.
What has been some of your challenges, man? That's becoming a stepfather.
Well, one of the main challenges is putting in your mind that this is not my biological child, and trying to understand what this child is thinking. Because when it comes to especially boys are more protective about their mother, and they don't want their mother or anybody want to harm their mother. So boys are more visual. They're observing you on how you act, your character, how you treat their mom, and that's something that you have to think about. And once again, that you're playing a role, you're stepping into a position that God has anointed you to step in the first place.
Yeah, that part.
And once you step into that position, you don't want to act out of character, meaning that I got to put on a persona just for this child to like me. When you put on the character of God, we know Jesus wasn't liked by the enemy, so we know the enemy is not going to like you in the first place. But when the child is raised up with Christ in them, then they will have a chance to see the Christ in you. And one of the biggest things to deal with becoming a stepfather, and it's this child is going to accept me for who I am, not because of me buying all these expensive items or things of that nature, but just accepting me as who I am.
Right. Well, and it's funny you say that, because what you're pretty much saying is that when you come into a child's life, you have to be transparent.
That's right.
But at the same time, you have to be gentle, you have to be aggressive, but you have to also keep in mind that you're ministering to this child at the same time.
That's right.
And that's one thing about me. When I was a stepchild, my stepfather was raw and uncut.
Yeah.
He didn't talk to you. He frowned at you. If you didn't get it, he put hands on you.
Yeah.
So I had to make myself a vow way back then. I'm like, hey man, if I ever become a stepfather, I'm not gonna treat the next kid the way I was treated.
That's right.
So I came into my stepchildren's lives, especially the young men. Yeah. One was already 16, one was 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So I couldn't be soft with them, because I had to get them to understand that you finna go out there and be young men.
That's right.
And you haven't seen what manhood look like in your household.
That's right.
If you don't know what it look like in your household, you can't represent it out there in the street.
That's right.
So I didn't have time to talk soft to them and this, that, and other. So I had to show them a little,
a
little rough.
Yeah.
So praise be to God, they got it. They getting it. But like I told my wife, they taught me a lot. They made me a better man.
That's right.
You know, because I had to realize at the end of the day, like I always preach to them, it's not all about you. You know, a lot of times I want to throw hands, this, that, and other, but is that what you really want to do? Because that's what was done to me, and it didn't turn out well.
So you gotta break the generational curse. Hurt people.
Exactly.
And a lot of times we've been abused as kids, and then now once we have kids, we have that what we say authority. Now I can tell you what to do. Now you better obey by my rules or else.
Right. Yeah. My parents didn't go for it, so I ain't gonna go for it.
See, me growing up, my daddy was real firm. I was afraid of my dad. I was afraid to get in trouble. He gave me what I wanted, but I had to earn it. So my first child was a daughter. My daughter is 22 years old, my oldest is 22. So I always told myself, I always wanted boys. And I always told myself, if I ever get a son, I'm gonna teach him how to be a man. My dad never taught me how to be a man, but visually watching him become a man, I watched what a man looked like, what it looked like to provide for a family.
Exactly.
You know, my days wake me up at 4 in the morning, go warm that vehicle up. I ain't understand that until now I'm grown. You know, I understand it now. You know, the fact that I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I'm the last one to go to sleep and the first one to wake up. So I teach my boys not only telling them, but they visually see this. You know, I let them know, don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream.
Yes, sir.
You sleep too long, you get lazy.
That's right.
You know, you need to be up.
Yes, sir.
There's always something that needs to be done. You know, so just talking to them in that nature, but not only because we can talk. But I asked them a question one day. I said, "What do y'all see me do every day?" I said, "You help me go to work." I said, "Exactly. It's not gonna come to you. You got to go out and get it, you know, and you have to be firm with them on that because the world has took a hold of our kids. School have our kids 8 hours of the day. We only get a couple of hours with them at home. And what are we doing with them when they get home? Are we allowing them to go in their bedroom and get on their phones, play video games all day? What about when it comes to the Word of God? Right. The Bible say, train up a child.
Yes. How
are we training up our kids as being the stepfathers? See, it starts with us first.
That's right.
You know, that's where the respect is going to come in. Your child only going to respect you if you're walking in Christ. But if you're not walking in Christ, you can't expect that child to respect you because you're not even respecting God.
That's right. That's right. Because at the end of the day, the man is the head, he's the father, he's the protector, and he's the priest of his household, as well as the prophet.
And the foundation.
And the foundation.
So you got to hold it together.
You know, and so, you know, for me, similar to you, man, like I said, my stepfather, he was hands-on, you know, he didn't do too much talking, man. We didn't have a relationship, but looking back on it, you know, I'm blessed to be able to accept the bitter with the sweet.
Yeah.
Because like you, I saw him go to work every day. I never see the police knocking on the door looking for him. He never went to jail.
Yeah.
He wasn't a drug addict or alcoholic. You know what I mean? So I picked those things up.
That's right.
You know, I'm like, hey man, then when he died, we found out he had land and several businesses. I'm like, oh my God, the boy was a hustler. You know? So I mean, you know, with me, man, I got 3 young ladies that I'm mentoring, that I'm actually taking care of. You know, my 2 granddaughters and my daughter.
Gotcha.
You know, so at this point, my mentoring and stewardship of them is different than it was with their brothers.
That's right.
You know, so you know, I have to let them know, man. You know, they're little girls, but I make sure they get some content.
That's right.
You know, and you don't want to be no dummy. You know, so hey, you got to learn the books of the Bible.
That's right.
You got to give me some Bible scriptures.
That's right.
You know, you got to learn some Spanish. You know, we won't be bilingual here. I mean, because Spanish is everywhere in the world.
That's right.
You know, I want you to be able to go out there in the world and be prosperous and effective.
That's right.
You know, you should be in the mind, and that's on me. Like you just said, when they leave your house, they should be comfortable enough to know that they can communicate, survive, and protect themselves. Got them in martial arts classes and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even when it comes to girls, you know, I, as a father, I always told myself that we gotta treat girls fragile, as fragile, because you never want them to think and feel that it's okay for a man to scream at them.
Right.
You never want them to think that it's okay for a man to put their hands on them. I never saw my daddy put his hands on my mom. They've argued. They've said what they said, but never saw him verbally, physically put his hands on my mom. So in my mind, I said to myself, that's not what a man's supposed to do. So I told my son, I said, hey, listen, if you ever get in an altercation with a woman, with a female, period, walk away. Regardless if she puts her hands on you, you walk away, because guess what? At the end of the day, she's a female. Even when you out here in the world, I might go through a drive-through and the female might have an attitude. And on the inside of me, I'm like, man, but I think at the end of the day, she's a female. You know, it doesn't give us a right to go off on them because they done something wrong.
Right.
You know, a lot of men are not taught, or a lot of men don't teach their stepchild how to treat a woman.
Yeah.
You know, would you want somebody talking crazy to your mother?
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Regardless if your mom in the wrong, you still won't want her talking crazy to your mom. So what makes it good for you to talk like that to a female? At the end of the day, she's a female.
Right.
She's the weakest vessel.
Right.
You know, so I even talk to them when it comes to their sister. Like, no, you're not gonna holler at her.
That's right.
You know, you're gonna talk to her, because I never want her to be afraid of a man.
That's right.
If anyone I want her to be afraid of is God. You know, not obeying him. That's what I want you to be afraid of. So being stepfathers, there's a lot that we gotta pull in to the child, even when it comes to a male or female. You still gotta play that role, because it's important for a child to have a father figure. And we know the way this world is, they have exited the fathers out of these homes. And I never take anything from a woman, because a woman is capable of raising that man, that boy, to be a man. But there are certain things that she cannot show him because she's not a male.
Right.
You know, vice versa.
Right.
You know, there's so much that a man can show his daughter, but he's not a female. You know, so it takes a lot. But dealing as a stepfather, and you know in your mental, like, this is not my biological child. And I always tell people, you never know how it feels to have a child until you have your own. You know, when you look at an animal birth a baby, you know how they be up under them. It's just certain scent about their smell, about their breath. But taking on a child that's not your biological, that's different. You have to learn how to love this individual, you know, and that's, God is gonna give you that, you know, on how to love him. You know, I was not the father that tell my boy I love you, because I'm like, feel funny as a man telling him I love you, you know. But then when I found my son saying it, I was like, man, he said it. You know, what's wrong with me saying it, you know? But for him to say it, that spoke volume. Because we never know what our kids think about it. They say things behind our back. We say things behind our parents' back. You know, but to hear my son speak positive, and I don't even ask for it, for him to speak positive to somebody else, that spoke volume to me about how I am as a father to him. You know, like that meant a lot.
And that's what I was saying. You know, when I became a stepfather, it's not something I volunteered. Well, I did volunteer for, because I married a woman with children, so I already knew I was volunteering for that. But you know, there's no roadmap, you know, to how to do this thing. It's OJT, you know. But I remember when I proposed to my wife, her 11-year-old daughter was there. And so gave my wife a ring or whatever, and I called her daughter, but I said, come and sit down. And I got on my knees and I asked her daughter, you know, can I marry your mom? She was like, yeah, but if you marry, ain't no refunds. You stuck with her. you stuck with her. I said, well, okay, that's cool. I said, here's what I want you to understand. So I'm gonna give you this ring. But when you find a man worthy to take this ring off your finger, I'm gonna bless you. You know, I'm gonna let you go with it. And man, she had some little guy wanted to take her somewhere one time, and she was like, hey, can he take? I said, yeah, when I get home and talk to him. You know. And she called back, well, the thing started at 5. What time you getting there? I said, I'll be there when I get there. Well, I'm gonna be late. I said, that's okay. If you can't wait till I get there, y'all can't go.
That's right.
You know, so I get there, she's smoking, boy, she hot. But she waited though. And I talked to him and I let him know, I thought you that's it, my baby. You know? And I ain't telling you that, but I had to let you know, hey man, come on now, bro.
Yeah.
You know, just keep it real. Something happened, you call me, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and right now today, man, that was 3 years ago. Right now today, you know, she'll come ask me something. I'm like, well, why's your mother? Because I'd be like, girl stuff. And she'd say, well, she gonna say come ask you anyway. You know, so it's things like that, man, that you know you doing the right thing, man.
Yeah, and then it speaks volume on the mother.
Yes.
On how she was raising him before you came in the picture.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Because you have some parents or women that raise their kids differently. So when the male figure come in, she don't want him chastising the child. And I've learned, you know, throughout the years, my dad wasn't big on whooping me. He was more firm on talking to me, but then when it got to that point, then them 3 licks coming. You know, I believe in talking more than, you know, pulling that belt out. And because we got to think, do we want to put the fear of us in our kids, or do we want to put the fear of God in our kids? You know, and putting the fear of God in our kids is more important than putting the fear of us. Now, of course, we want to show them that we hold authority over them and let them know that I'm your father, I'm not your friend.
Right.
I'm a cool dad.
Yeah.
I'm a laid back dad, but I'm a dad that's about business.
About business.
You know, you're not gonna disrespect.
Because I want the best for you.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. I told my son one day, I said, hey man, we'll always have a good relationship as long as you don't jump froggy. He said, what you mean froggy? I said, so you don't know about the video game called Frog, where the frog was jumping across the freeway, and they kept going across the freeway, and eventually they got hit.
Mm-hmm.
I say, see, never disrespect me or disrespect your mama, and don't jump across this street. You know, I said, I don't care how old you get, you always show respect. I said, because once you jump froggy, then the frog didn't survive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you gotta let them know. Not saying that you want to harm them, but let them know, hey man, this not what you want to do. You know, because that'll you gain more respect from them.
Yeah.
Because you let them know that I'm about business. You know, we cool. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm real laid back. I'm a reasonable individual because I understand I was once your age.
Yeah.
You know, and kids these days now, I mean, they're exposed to what we exposed to. So they know just as well as the things that we know. But I always inform them, there might be some things that you know that I don't know, but I know more than you because I've been along.
You got experience.
Exactly.
Right.
I've been along with you. You know, so it's a lot that come along with being a stepfather. It's a position that you have to be ready for, right? So, man, as we continue to talk about, you know, stepfather, we mentioned the things that we have to think about going into that role. So what are some pros and cons that you have experienced being a stepfather?
Well, some of the pros and cons that I've experienced is that every day is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like you said earlier, you know, you never know what that child is thinking.
That's right.
You know, one day they may be cool, they may be on chill, they be like, I'm gonna give this dude a chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other days they may be like, you know, he took my cell phone.
That's right.
He ain't my daddy, take my cell phone, you know what I mean? Then my mama going on, you know, she would decide, you know, so you gotta be able to stand your ground.
Yeah.
You know, and it may be some friction there.
Yeah.
You know. But you know, some of the cons that go with that, man, is that at the end of the day, for me, it's when, like you said earlier, you know, my stepfather was that way. He wasn't talkative. Mm-hmm. So what I do after, I'll take electronics. Yeah. I took my stepdaughter a phone twice, and I told her the second time I take it, you won't get it back to you by your own. Yeah. And I busted up right there in front of her, and I meant that. Yeah. Because I'm trying to get her to see that you have to abide by rules and regulations in the world.
That's right.
Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. So if I give you a cell phone, well, and put restrictions on it, abide by that.
That's right.
You know, but saying all that is to say that, you know, I make it my point to just after I, you know, put on restriction, lock her door, you know, put our room for a week, whatever. I always sit down and talk to her and let her know why. Mm-hmm. Because my stepfather just put hands on me. He never let me know why he was doing it. I'm like, dude, let me know what I'm doing wrong, so I don't do this again. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So after I done told you, and you do it again, like I told her about the cell phone, if I take it again, you don't get it back. So now we cool. She knows. She don't even ask me about no cell phone no more. Yeah. You know what I mean? So some of the pros, man, is the end game. You know, when they call you and say, you know, I was just thinking about you. How was your day today?
Yeah.
You know, man, I appreciate it. My stepson's coming, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. I'm just checking on you.
Yeah.
You know, so it all comes back to the Bible verse: train up a child in the way he should go.
That's right.
And when they're older, they should not depart.
That's right.
You know, but you gotta know who you are in Christ, because my Bible says that a man who fails to rule his own house is not worthy of the cloth.
So when it comes to the pros and cons, what I've dealt with the pros is, man, it's just having a son. You know, not just having one son. I got two. You know, I was blessed with two boys, and the blessing about it is that I never got an attitude or a talk back. You know, when I told them to do something, man, and that's one of the cons that I really appreciate. Because we know kids, man, they quick to smack their lips. Mm-hmm. They might say, well, you're not my dad. Mm-hmm. You know, they quick to become negative. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just love that about them. And I never put them on a pedestal, because kids are not perfect. Mm-hmm. You know, there are some things that they have done. You know, when it comes to the cons, you know, my youngest son, you know, man, I was whoop him. You know, get that belt, whoop him, you know, and all I asked from him was to tell me the truth. And he would lie. You know, he would lie. And it got to a point where, you know, he got, well, his biological father actually got into his life. And it was to a point to where he didn't want to abide by our rules, you know, and that kind of hurted me. It affected me in a way, because it's like you wanted to run away because of the rules that's being set. You know, it's not like I'm out here telling you go sell drugs or smoke weed and none of these things. I'm giving you biblical advice, instructions, you know. But even out of the pros and the cons, you know, the Bible says what the devil means for bad, God will turn it around for your good. You know, so we have to keep in mind that kids are not perfect. I don't care how much you pour into them, the love that you pour into them. Just like God pouring the love to us, and what we do, you know, we kick them, we turn away from them, but God still loves on us, you know. So it's always, the situation is always going to come out good on the side of God, because regardless of what they might think about us, regardless of how they might act towards us at times, we still have to show the love of God. You know, because at the end of the day, they didn't make that choice. We made the choice to step up and be in their lives. Right. And then when it comes to stepfather, we got to think, what is a stepfather? You actually stepped into the position of being a father. Mm-hmm. And that's what a stepfather means to me. You know, I don't look at a stepfather as if like, you're not my child. When you accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, you are adopted to the family. Yes. You know, Jesus said he died for the Jews and the Gentiles. Mm-hmm. So it's not a skin tone, it's not a race. Once you accept, then you have been adopted into the family. You know, because there's a lot of his creation that's walking around that they're not in the family no more. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's by choice. Mm-hmm. So even with him creating us, that was a pro and that was a con. Mm-hmm. You know, the pros is that we found out what we've done wrong, and we made a decision to come back home, like the prodigal child did. Mm-hmm. But then there's some of us that didn't make that decision. Mm-hmm. We decided to stray away and stay away. And then now we have been adopted by another father, which is Satan. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's amazing. It's the pros and cons of everything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this here. You are one of the speakers at the first annual Stepfather Luncheon.
I'm gonna be the last speaker.
No,
right?
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Same
that's
as
cool.
last. Yeah,
but it don't make no difference if you're first or you're last.
The first shall be last,
okay.
the last shall be first.
That's okay. But it's gonna be August the 21st, 2026.
That's right.
At the Prosperity Event Center.
I'm looking forward.
100 East Little York Avenue.
Yeah.
Houston, Texas. From 7 to 11.
It's going to be in Houston, Texas, right?
Houston, Texas.
What's the address again?
100.
I don't think they heard. What is it?
100.
100.
East Little York.
East Little York.
Avenue.
At who?
Avenue.
Avenue. He said Avenue.
Houston, Texas.
7 to 11. 7 to 11.
So if y'all want to get some more of this here,
that's right.
From the Pastor Eugene.
That's right.
Say your last name one more time.
Eugene Charlot.
And that's Suave. That means
Suave. French.
Y'all come out. Y'all join us. Y'all come out and join us. Y'all come out. Y'all gonna have a good time. We're gonna have entertainment there. We're gonna have food there.
That's right.
We're gonna have some brilliant gospel singing by the one and only Tiffany R. Sings.
Who? What's her name?
Tiffany R. Sings.
Who is that?
That is the Songbird.
Songbird.
Yes, sir. That's the Songbird.
She can sing.
She got a little song.
She can sing, or she can sing.
No, she can sing.
Okay.
She can sing.
You can sing, man.
She can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all come on out. Y'all enjoy yourself. Y'all come out and meet Pastor Eugene, and just have a good time. Food, beverages. We don't say drinks. Beverages, entertainment. It's all included in your ticket. Yeah. So go to Eventbrite
and put on your best.
Yeah, and register.
Come dress. Appropriately.
And, dress code strictly enforced. Come semi-formal, dress to impress.
Dress to impress.
Don't meet us there. Beat us there.
Beat us there.
We'll be there.
Get your tickets.
Eventbrite. Don't be late. Hey, now, here's a bonus. Info at childrenofthevine, VINE.org. Text me your name. Let me know you want to come. I'm going to sponsor 2 guys. On me, 2 tickets.
On him.
Yes, sir.
On him.
On me.
He's sponsored.
I'm the sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Meet me there.
Thank you for tuning in to a Stepfather's Conversation with Aswed Muhammad and Pastor Eugene. Please subscribe to the Children of the Vine YouTube channel. See you next time.